The men that run the world that really run shit are not good by any stretch of the imagination. The fact that you even say that, but you didn't tell me you don't know, means you shouldn't have said that shit in the first place. You shouldn't have said that shit. If you don't know, you don't have an answer. Don't listen. I know that's hard for you, but listen. If you don't actually have a producible answer, don't just say the shit because it sounds good. Because it makes it unbecoming.
Yo, you just said some shit because it sounds good. You said Joe Biden runs the world.
No, you did.
It's not that I don't know that we love evil as much as it is just innately within us, right? I think there's a quote that says, "The good that I would, I do not, and the evil that I would not, that I do." There's enough stuff. Somebody said there's enough stuff for me to make both a gentleman and a rogue. The problem that I see is it is easier to do evil. It is easier to do that which is more pleasing to the flesh, if you will, than it is to be good. Good men do not run this world at all. You are dead wrong. If good men ran the world, you wouldn't have wars. You wouldn't have the poverty rate being is what it is. You wouldn't have a whole lot of things. This world is run by corruption.
So you're saying there's no good men that run the there's no good men at all.
Let me explain this to you. 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 When you get to the very highest levels of government,
there's only 1% that runs the world.
Well,
okay, but
hold on a second.
Let him finish.
1% of this planet's population controls over 40% of the planet's wealth. And we see exactly what is happening with the majority of that wealth being in the hands of an elite few. The poverty rate is insane. You have places like Haiti, places in Africa, places within our own nation. You have millions of people within the United States going to bed starving, hungry tonight. Are you telling me that if good people truly ran the world, we would have poverty at the rates in which they are? Bullshit. The problem is, let me say this and be done. The problem is,
let me ask the question when he's done.
Wait, he asked the question and then y'all don't give a chance to.
The problem is, if you think good people run the world, how good of a job do you think these supposedly good people are actually doing?
Yo, so what I'm saying, I didn't say that it's all good men that run the world. What I said was that there's some good men that run the world and there's some evil men that run the world. Now, if it was all evil men that ran the world, then the world would be totally desolate. So that's what I'm saying. There are some good men that do run the world as well as some evil men. That's what I said. I didn't say that all good men run the world. That's not what I said. This sounds like
a not all women conversation.
No, it's not like all women.
It is.
Again, I haven't said much the last half. If what you're saying is even remotely true, name me any good men that run the world. Understand, that's a very specific statement you made. Run the world. Name me any good men that run this bitch.
Bro, I don't know who are the men. I don't know the men.
Because I can name you. I can name you the ones that run it for real. I can name them to you right now.
Okay, well, I don't know all the men that run the world. What I'm
saying
is
who run it for real, Austin?
You got Joe. Let's start in the United States. You got Joe Biden. You got the Rockefeller.
You don't run the world. What the fuck?
Stop. Will you
let him rock? Let him rock, Sweeney.
You got Joe Biden. You got the chairman of the Federal Reserve Board. You got the oligarch. I mean, I can go down the list. Right?
Did he just say Joe Biden?
Let him rock. Let him rock.
Let him rock.
He is the Joe Biden. Listen. What the genuine answer to that question would require too much time and too much knowledge. It's gonna go right over your head.
No, it won't go right over my head because I know that Joe Biden.
Y'all stop talking over each other, please.
Yeah. The problem is this: the men that run the world that really run shit are not good by any stretch of the imagination. The fact that you even say that, but you didn't tell me you don't know, means you shouldn't have said that shit in the first place. You shouldn't have said that shit. If you don't know, you don't have an answer. Don't listen. I know that's hard for you, but listen. If you don't actually have a producible answer, don't just say the shit because it sounds good. Because it makes it unbecoming.
Yo, you just said some shit because it sounds good. You said Joe Biden runs the world.
No, you did.
Hold on. You just said Joe Biden runs the world.
That ain't the only name I mentioned.
Actually a figurehead.
That's not the only name I mentioned. That might be the only name you heard.
Joe Biden, so you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
I tell you what.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
I tell you what. Let's do this. I tell you what. Because I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's do this. Do you know who? Wait.
Joe Biden runs the world.
Wait. Hold on.
Why y'all arguing?
Hold on.
Let go. You do realize I'm not arguing. My tone ain't changed.
No, it ain't you. It's light-skinned Sweeney.
Yo, here's the thing.
Man,
this is the thing.
What's going on in your brain?
This is the thing. So here's the answer to your question. Since you want the legitimate answer, I would encourage you to look. I would encourage you look up who the chairman of the Federal Reserve Board is. I would encourage you to look up who John David Rockefeller is. I would encourage you to look up the Rothschilds. I would encourage you to look up those men, the people that dominate the money centers of the world, right? Hold on a second. There was a statement made that said, if you give me control of a nation's money supply, I care not who writes its laws. So if I were you, I would highly suggest that you go look at the money powers that really run the show, right? This is deeper than Joe Biden. This is deeper than anything. So I'd encourage you to look that up. And those men, hold on. What you will discover when you look those men up is that them Negroes ain't good, brother. They are not good by any stretch of the fucking imagination. The love of money is the root of all manners of evil. That's in the 6,000-year-old book.
The love of money, right? But the love of money is, listen, money itself is not evil. The love of money is evil, but it's not money itself.
Why are you repeating back to me what I just said to you?
But I say it's not money itself.
Why are you repeating back to me what I just said? Why are you repeating back to me what I just said?
What I'm telling you is,
you ain't telling me shit. You just repeated back to me what I told you.
That you the one, you said dude that said Joe Biden runs the world, fam. So you got no credibility, my brother. You said Joe Biden runs the world, literally.
Do you hear this shit?
Literally.
Let go. Do you hear this shit?
You said Joe Biden runs the world.
Do you hear this shit?
Don't try to get no help.
I don't
need help. Joe Biden runs the world, fam.
You don't need help.
Don't try to get no help, fam. Don't try to get no help. Don't try to get no help.
Israel, can I just say one thing?
Don't try to get no help.
I want to yell.
Trigger Mike has his hand up.
Israel.
Trigger Mike has his hand up.
There's an issue.
Trigger Mike has his hand up, fam.
Is there some type of competition? You just want to be right or something? I'm asking. What is it? Israel, like, it's frustrating. What is it?
I love the
tired.
No, this is right up my alley.
Trigger Mike, please come tell the truth of what's going on, man.
No. So I like this particular convo because it's about who runs the world, and y'all are giving the old, the definition of money and the Rockefellers and all that. That's cool, but the world is run by special interests. Okay. The world is run, of course, by the people with the money, but the special interests run the world. I'm a part of a group called the African Conservatives Assembly. And when you hear the stuff that they talk about, and then you hear the legislation that comes out, you will understand special interests. But the people who actually run the world now are no longer the money people, because money is now digital and they can't control that, which is why they're trying to do it. People that run the world are actually the people that run the social circle. So Elon Musk bought Twitter for a reason. All right. Mark Zuckerberg has been controlling your data. Bill Gates has been controlling your data. Those are the people that now run the world. They are the ones that control everything. So if you really want to know what control looks like, look at what people do and what they will do with your data and how they use it against other people, how people are filing lawsuits against all of these people and privacy laws and all of that. So it's a real cool thing. But as far as my man Israel said, you know what? I think I'll break it down like this. Good men run the surface level. Me, you taking care of our kids and doing all that, we run the middle class. We don't run the big show. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? So we don't run politics. We don't run anything like that. We run what's going on at ground level to give people the economy to serve their special interests, if I'm making any sense.